Hey everybody, this is SPEW, where we eat slimy pickles every Wednesday.
This is Jesi.
And this is Shelby.
We are bringing you our 4th episode of our awesome podcast where we talk about feminist nerdy stuff and nerdy feminist stuff. We'll be doing this podcast once a week, and we are really excited because you may have noticed a slightly improved sound quality thanks to a friend of Shelby's who is producing our show for us. So thank you, friend of Shelby's.
Yes. I don't know if he's really weird. He lives out in the middle of the woods with a bunch of guns and just like is very anti-civilization. I'm kind of exaggerating, but I don't know if he wants me to say his name. I'm going to anyways. Thank you, Bruno.
Thanks, Bruno. We'll make sure the FBI doesn't listen to this.
You make it sound pretty.
Yeah, we sound real pretty good and educated, which I think is good.
Yes.
I hope you can like change all of our ums and change my southern drawl and make it sound more like middle America.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure. I do have to admit, this is totally off topic from the podcast, but when you said this is Shelby, I almost went, this is James, because we remember Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or no, you said this is Jesi.
Yeah.
This is Jesi, this is James.
Oh.
And we are
Team Rocket.
Okay.
That's awesome. I kept seeing people at MegaCon who had, I think they were supposed to be Suicide Squad members or something, but I kept thinking they were Team Rocket members. And I was like, Team Rocket. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So
Yeah.
that would be a good, if anyone wants to do that one, it's a good cosplay.
It is. You should do it because you're Jesi.
I should do it, and it's so funny, like, there's not a ton of Jessies out there in the pop culture world, but I used to have a friend whose little boy thought that I was Jessie from Toy Story.
Oh, really?
Because he was like, her name's Jessie.
She has an accent.
She has an accent. She wears cowgirl boots.
Yeah.
She is the doll come to life. And it was like the best role I've ever played, really.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
That is awesome.
So, we want to kind of broaden the definition of what we talk about on this show as far as nerdy topics. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of things that you can be nerdy about. Like, some people are really nerdy about, like, the kind of tea they drink. And some people are really nerdy.
Those people are not nerdy. They're pretentious.
They're pretentious.
They're pretentious.
Well, some people are really nerdy about, like, makeup. And they're, like, really, like, just things that you get really into, I think you can be considered a nerd for. Mm-hmm. In a positive sense. Like, it's a good thing to be super nerdy into something, right?
Yeah. I think everyone should be. It's part of your personality.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, one of the topics that we wanted to bring up today, things that we are nerdy about, is comedians.
Yes, absolutely.
I like those performing clowns. They're great. And we want to talk a little bit about the comedy world out there. There's a lot of controversy about what's funny, what's not funny, what you can and can't joke about, the ethics of that. There's a lot of just awesome new platforms out there for comedians to get their jokes across to people, with Netflix picking up specials and,
Yeah, I mean, even there's people that's their whole career is really based off Twitter. Like, they were just making funny posts on Twitter when it was important. And then now they've got their own shit going where they're making money off of it.
I love that. Like, there's just so many different ways to break into it now that there didn't used to be. It's not just, go to some hole-in-the-wall bar and hope somebody discovers you now. It's so much more than that.
It's like the Seinfeld comedy.
I mean, I think about, what's the guy, I think I can't remember his name, but he, like, drives around in cars with celebrities and they just, like, laugh and sing songs.
I have no idea.
You don't know who he is? It's like John something or John or James or something. Like, I know him from Doctor Who because he was in an episode of Doctor Who.
Is he British?
Yeah, he's British.
Okay.
And he I can't think of his name. But
those fuckers are funny just on
He
their
is
own.
so funny. But that's the thing. Like, probably 10 years ago, he would have just been like, maybe he would have got a few bit parts, and he would never have had his own comedy show where literally the whole show is just he drives around with other celebrities and they make jokes, and he's really funny and he's endearing and all that. So there's just a lot of different ways to do comedy these days. So I think that's really, really interesting. And
absolutely.
What are some of your favorite comedians?
I'm actually kind of new to the stand-up comedy, mainly because now I have Spotify. Well, I've had it for like a year now, but I'm getting kind of old, and like new bands just kind of annoy me, and I've heard all my old favorite band stuff. So
listen to it enough.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna listen to some comedy. So I did.
I didn't even thought to use Spotify for comedy.
Yeah, they have really good stations.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's all I listen to. If I'm not listening to NPR because I'm a fucking nerd, then I'm listening to comedians on Spotify.
Yeah, I have my Sirius subscription. I listen to NPR and POTUS and MSNBC. And
Yeah,
that's like,
stuff you don't want. Like
I'm an old lady.
Right.
And yeah, so that's, and I have the comedy station saved, but I don't listen to him because it's always like Dane Cook and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
right. Well, and that's why I was kind of like, I mean, and like, I have seen like, before I was really into comedy, had seen like George Lopez and that guy who goes by Fluffy, Graciel, and may like hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't know. Gabrielle Iglesias.
That's probably right.
I don't know, something like that. But I don't really find it funny. Like, it's not really, I don't know. I'm weird about it. So I started listening to comedians on Spotify. I found a guy I really like named Dan Cummings who makes me laugh hysterically every single time I listen to him.
I haven't heard of him.
He's one of those types that just like, kind of like how, you know, he doesn't necessarily have to be dirty. I mean, some of his stuff is a little offensive, but he doesn't do dirty jokes, really.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He makes really weird, it's just weird. It's like really weird comedy. He has this whole bit about like, a magic stick guy, and I don't want to go into it because obviously I would butcher it, and then when the listeners actually listen to it, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, she ruined it." So just look up, just Google like Dan Cummins magic stick, and you will lose your shit. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna Google it right after this.
Yeah,
that it sort of reminds me of what he said about how, you know, he can make dirty jokes but doesn't have to.
Yeah,
one of my favorite comedians is John Mulaney, and he's that way. Like he you know, he could probably go into like the dirty joke arena, but he keeps it pretty clean, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's a real craft.
I think, you know, I'm fine with like raunchy humor, like that's, I don't have anything problem with that. But like if you can go just as funny without going as dark or as dirty, like that's impressive to me. And John Mulaney is hilarious. One of my favorite jokes. And he actually draws it out to like several different segments. He jokes about one of my favorite shows, Law and Order SVU, and his jokes about it are so amazing because it's observational humor. But you know, whenever I watch Law and Order SVU, I just like turn my brain off. Yeah, like. Law and Order SVU is yoga for me. It's yoga. Like I meditate and I quiet my thoughts and I watch like them talk about horrible shit, and it's great. And that's it, like his jokes are just about like how dumb that show is and how great it is at the same time. So I love that, and all of his jokes are like that, very funny but still so clean.
Yeah, I think like I said, you got to really have a certain kind of mind for that. I mean, I don't mind. I'm not easily offended by any means, by anything. I'm really not. But I kind of.
But I just want you to be smart about it.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay, if you're going to toe like a line, or if you're going to delve into a topic that could offend people, like just don't go for that lowest common denominator of an obvious joke. Yeah. Like I want you to be smarter than, you know, than the joke. Yes. So that's sort of, we do make a lot of fart jokes on this we do, show, but we're smarter than our fart jokes.
It's true, and it doesn't matter because no one's listening anyways.
That's true. We just watched Bo Burnham's new special, Make Happy. Yes. And it made me happy, but it also, Bo Burnham breaks my fucking heart.
I know. It's one of those things where I feel like it's ironic. I should also mention real fast that both Jesi and I are like vying for this man's love. Like, I've never had a crush like that, like a celebrity crush where I'm like, I need them, but I genuinely ache for Bo Burnham, which is ridiculous because he's so fucking funny.
He is so funny, and you know, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the comedy special, it could be just a joke, who knows, but he does say that he is recently single. And like my little ears perked up. I was like, there's still hope, you know? Me and Bo could still date, but I know he would think I'm stupid,
and he'd be right. Like, that's the worst part. I think we're pretty smart ladies, but he'd be right. Like, he would make me feel like such a Neanderthal.
Yeah, he'd be like, you're an idiot, get away from me. I'd be like, you're right, Bo, you're right.
But in general, I mean, it was really good. It wasn't, I feel like I enjoyed the last one, What? That's what it's called, just What? I think I liked it a little bit better because I like his really quirky comedy. But like we were saying, I mean, Jesi and I are sitting there watching this and we're like losing our shit. We're laughing hysterically. And by the end of it, he really like delves into this super weird, like self-hatey, like it's not, I can't even explain it. Like, it made us both just sit there and like almost feel guilty about enjoying it so much. You have to watch it. Anyone that's listening has to watch it. It's amazing.
I think he is the king out there right now of that uncomfortable comedy.
He's like the only contestant.
Yeah, he puts you in a zone where you're like, it's not like I'm not sure if I should laugh because it's offensive. It's I'm not sure if I should be laughing at this person's state of mind. Yeah. And maybe that's exactly, I feel like that's exactly what he's wanting to do, is like he's wanting you to really reconsider what's funny and what's not, and what's appropriate and what's not. And he's definitely uncontested right now.
He does. And he has this like weird buildup that he does before all his specials, like prior to what and prior to like words, which was the one prior that I didn't particularly care for. He was like obsessed and constantly talking about like the format and like the not algebra, algorithms behind comedy and like breaking comedy down and setting it into separate boxes. And he talks about it like a maniac on his specials, but he like really goes into it on his website and stuff about how he's trying to reinvent comedy, and he did. So in this one, it's all about like what is happy, and it sounds so stupid. And he's always had this like downy, like I'm a nerd kind of like behavior, but like this was totally different than anything. I've been following him since YouTube days.
Yeah, same here. When he was like 14 when I first started watching YouTube, and I was like, who is this little dork? He's so cute. And his songs were cute and a little bit offensive, but mostly funny. And and then as he's gotten older, I feel like he's just like he tackles those offensive subjects in such a like ironic way, in a way that he knows what the real joke is. Like the real joke is not something racist. The real joke is racists. And they're a joke, and like that sort of thing. And I think that's great, and I appreciate his style of comedy so much. What other comedians are you into? Anybody? I know Bo Burnham's pretty high on the list, but
I don't know. I'm pretty picky. I really like Maria Bamford. I think she's hilarious. I think that she also kind of, and I was thinking about her when we were talking about Bo Burnham. I think that she has this really weird place in comedy as well, because like I listened to her when she did more of the impressions and whatnot. Like I like this is baby Jesus. I heard that, but she's like her so fucking
impressions
funny.
Are amazing,
right?
But she's one of the only comedians out there that I think that's really frank and honest and open about mental illness.
Right, she is. But then, I mean, like, there's a whole... The last time I listened to her, and I don't know if it was new material or not, the last time I listened to her, she really, like, paints this weird, almost like self-hatey type behavior, too, about how, like, she'll just go through these, like, borderline suicidal depressions and just lay on her couch and read and star. And, like, for me, that's hilarious. You know what I mean? Because we all do it.
It's relatable.
I'm just like you.
We all hate ourselves.
What about you, though? I mean, is there anyone else
I love,
that you really like?
I love Mike Birbiglia. I think that his style of comedy is also very unique because he's more of a storyteller than a comedian. He's definitely, like, he gets up there and he starts and he paints you this picture and then he backtracks and makes another point and then he backtracks again. And, I mean, he gets up there and he does something really special with his comedy. And it's always poignant and it always just gets you right in the feels.
Right.
And I love Mike Birbiglia. I love Tig Notaro. She will make me, like, belly laugh.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to that Taylor Dane joke she makes. I can listen to it every day and I'll still laugh.
Right.
It's still funny. And that was the first joke of hers I heard. So I'm like, it's still funny.
Yeah.
And you know, she did that amazing, like, groundbreaking comedy performance a couple years ago where it was like, you know, the basement of a comedy, you know, bar and someone thankfully recorded it. And it turned out to be like this historic thing where she just got up and talked frankly about her mom dying and her getting cancer and like all these horrible things that happened to her in the space of days.
Yeah.
And it was funny, but it was also one of those heartbreaking, like, just painfully honest, open human things. And I love when the comedians can really, they reach for the stars these days. Like there's no more of the baseline Jerry Seinfeld, like, let's all just laugh together and go home. It's I'm going to make you laugh.
And feel really uncomfortable.
And I'm going to break your heart.
Yeah.
And you're going to laugh at me again.
Right.
I love it. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Man, comedy is a great world right now. I feel like I'm just not smart enough to be a comedian, or I don't think that I'm as funny as some other people think I am. Like, I get at work a lot. People are like, you should totally be a comedian. I'm like, no, I just think that you have a terrible sense of humor. Like, I don't think I'm that funny.
See, like, at work, because, like, I listen, you know, I'm going to be a little bit, my head is kind of big, but I listen back to, like, the podcast that we recorded. And I'm like, we're really funny. You know, I've, like, cracked ourselves up. I sound so terrible right now. I'm like, we're fucking hilarious.
I laugh
you know?
at you. I don't laugh at
I laugh at you. I laugh at both of us. I like your humor. Oh my God, I just have a crush on you, Jesi.
You're the
comedy
best.
crush. But, you know, I think I'm pretty funny. And then I go to work and I try to, like, especially after we do a podcast, like tomorrow, if I like this podcast, I'll be like, hey, and I'll walk into work and I'll be like, cracking jokes. And people, like, hate me at my job. But the people that I find genuinely funny in my in my actual life, they typically find me funny. Yeah. So I'm like, it must just be you know, it must just be a like an
energy exchange.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like,
it must be a specific type of comedy. I would love to do comedy. I don't have any performance like history at all. And
I hate performing.
Yeah.
Like, this is fine because ain't nobody seeing my face.
Yeah.
And I'm not wearing pants right now and no one cares.
That's true.
I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Shelby, don't get any ideas, Shelby. But nobody cares, and nobody's gonna see my face and replay it over and over and zoom in on my pores and all those things I just think about. And it's an anxiety thing. It's the same with like when you have an anxiety attack and you think everyone's looking at you and nobody's looking at you.
Yeah,
that's me with performing.
That's how I feel.
But
when
everyone is looking at you.
Right. That's how I used to feel when I would get super, super high.
Yeah.
Which I don't. I don't like weed. It's okay. You can make shoes out of it. You can smoke it. I don't care. But like for me, it always made me really paranoid, and I would be like, oh my god, people know I'm high. Yeah. No one's fucking paying attention. Like no one cares.
I've never done drugs because I've always been afraid of what it would do to my anxiety because it's always pretty up there.
Yeah, manageable.
It's manageable, and like I'm good now, and I'm just always like at a 10 on the excitement scale. Yeah. Like I'm usually just excited, but it used to be where if I got like on a 5 on the excitement scale, I would just panic because I was too excited. So,
yeah, definitely.
But
for sure.
It took a little hard right turn there to the depression. Anxiety.
I know, it got weird.
But that's comedy though.
Right? We're already on our way.
We're on our way. Most comedians, it's pretty well documented. A lot of comedians have a lot of mental health issues and self-doubt and depression, anxiety.
Robin Williams, man, that broke my heart. Oh, yeah. It broke my heart.
Absolutely. I remember talking about that in therapy.
Yeah, right.
Because I was so just shook up about that. Yeah. It was so upsetting.
So, I get choked up still. And his daughter's amazing. I follow her on Instagram.
She is amazing.
Yes.
I should follow her on Instagram. That's great.
And then Zilda Ray. She's really cool.
So I think I'm trying to think of other comedians that like just really are kicking butt right now. And the first one that comes to mind is Hannibal Buress. Mm-hmm. And and I feel like a lot of people got into him after the Bill Cosby thing.
Yeah.
But I was with him, but before it was cool.
Yeah, you're an OG.
I'm an OG. No, I probably heard about him like 4 years ago, so it's not like that old. But when I first heard about him, I think it was his pickle juice joke, and I know this is probably the dumbest thing I'll ever say, but I related so hard to that pickle juice joke. I felt it on a spiritual level.
Right.
I was like, I have saved so many jars of pickle juice because I just didn't want to feel wasteful. I understand that joke. So immediately I was hooked. And just because he takes these things that are these like obvious things that everyone experiences and he makes them so funny.
Right.
And the absolute best thing about Hannibal Buress is he understands and appreciates my love for Cracker Barrel. He fucking loves Cracker Barrel, and so do I. Best restaurant ever.
I actually agree with you.
Yes.
It must be like a Southern thing,
It's
but
so good.
I've never had a bad meal from Cracker Barrel. I've
neither.
never even had like a mediocre worth the money. I've always had amazing meals from them.
I've only ever had the chicken and dumplings.
Yeah.
Because why would I eat anything else?
Everything's good though.
I'm sure.
But I'm like I do the chicken and dumplings too. It's one of the very few things
day.
that I like. I crave like from because I like to cook. I don't know. I like both, but I really like to cook. If I eat at a restaurant, there's like 2 things that I'll wake up and I'll be like, I need it. Yeah. Their chicken and dumplings are really fucking good.
And where else can you get chicken and dumplings besides your mom's house?
Yeah, grandma.
Yeah,
right.
grandma's
My grandma
house.
used to make some.
No.
She got so old, she just started like taking the whole chicken, just like just dumped
go.
it in some dough. It was still good though. But I like it whenever it's only half cooked.
Yeah.
That's some weird like that. But I'll sometimes be like, I really need a Taco Bell Diet Pepsi right now. Only from Taco Bell. They do something. I swear to you, there's witchcraft in their fountain machines or ice because it's like you can tell the difference.
I wonder what it is. Hey, if you are a Taco Bell employee out there and you know the secret ingredient to the Diet Pepsi at Taco Bell, call us in and there may be a reward in it for you or something. Who knows?
Call us that number. Beep 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 beep. We don't have a phone.
And if you work at Cracker Barrel corporate and you want to sponsor us, we are 2 of your biggest fans, legit.
Right.
And you should pay us for that.
We will make a new podcast about chicken and dumplings.
I probably spend 25% of my paycheck at Cracker Barrel. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, maybe like 10%, but I do spend a lot at Cracker Barrel.
Do you like their store too?
I love their store.
I do too.
I went in there one time and I found a little book and I like took a picture with it because it made me sad because I love Cracker Barrel so much, and the little book was called "No Atheists in Foxholes." And I was like,
what?
I don't know if you've ever heard that saying.
No.
It's like they're atheists, but once like the shit hits the fan, once they're about to die, they'll get right with Jesus.
That's stupid. That makes me mad.
And it hurt my feelings. So I was like, I'm an atheist, and Cracker Barrel doesn't appreciate me. But I just took a picture with it and still ate those damn good chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, to be a progressive atheist in the South is definitely
it's rough on us.
Yeah, we're like natural born comedians. So we have a lot to hate about ourselves.
We do. But then, as an atheist, still, I love Cracker Barrel because I get my food, I'm in and out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I can sit for the rest of my lunch break on a rocking chair and listen to Christian songs that I like because I grew up in the South.
Right,
so I'm like, like, I totally want to hear this like praise music right now. It's great. And the country music, which I also like because I'm from Texas.
Yeah. Suck on some rock candy.
Yeah. So that was like 5 minutes about Cracker Barrel.
That was not on our schedule.
Let's get back on our schedule. Let's talk a little bit about some news about nerdism.
Nerd stuff. Yay.
So
let's talk a little bit. I want to skip right to, this is very important to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip right to Suicide Squad.
Yes.
I don't know if any of my friends actually listen to me out there, but I am not happy about the movie. It's coming out, I want to say this summer.
Okay, so it's not out yet.
No,
I feel like I've been hearing about it for 12 years.
I know.
I feel like it's been like amped up so much. There's no way it's going to be good.
I am pretty sure that it's going to be like the biggest blockbuster in all of time. It's
Really?
going to be like the new Nolans because people love the fucking Joker so much.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm going to hate it. And I think that most actual comic book fans will probably also hate it. The only thing I'm looking forward to is it has Killer Croc in it. But he's also the kind of character that should not have been brought to live action.
Really?
Like, he's great in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he like a crocodile?
He's a giant crocodile, man,
Oh,
that
okay.
wears ripped up shorts because he's too big for his shorts.
Too big for his
And-
britches?
Yes, and he bites people. Yeah.
This sounds really promising as
I love
a live
him.
action creature.
I love him. I love crocodiles as it is, so you make him a man. You put some man parts on him,
So,
I'm really gonna love him.
I'm envisioning like a crocodile
He is.
that's got lots of muscles
Yep.
and stands on
And nipples.
his hind legs. Well, sure.
Yeah.
And preferably nipple rings.
Yeah.
And abs.
I could see it, yeah.
I
He's
want
really trashy.
abs. Okay, and he's got like ripped up denim shorts.
Yes.
But with the pockets still attached.
Yes, of course.
So
Yeah.
that's what I hope that they bring to life in Suicide Squad because I've invested a lot in this imagery now.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I work, in psych and substance abuse, and whenever the Joker starts to look like some of the worst patients I've had in my past with like the shitty tattoos and like he's got no teeth, like they turned the Joker, who's like ultimately the best and most complex villain in all of comic books. I don't think anyone would argue with me there. They turned him into a meth head.
Oh,
like
no.
I don't understand how that happened.
No.
Ugh.
Yeah, I saw those pictures and I was like, this looks like someone I went to high school with. Like,
Yeah.
This is he's not scary or
It looks like the
imposing.
kind of guy that hangs out at the mall until
Yeah.
he's like 30 and still
Yeah.
finagles with 13-year-old girls.
Like he's the kind of
Yeah.
guy that if I saw him in a parking lot, I'd hold my keys like in
Yeah.
that weapon stance. I'd be like,
Right,
just because he
right.
looks like he's gonna steal my phone.
Yeah.
like that's not imposing, really. It's just unpleasant. So.
Yeah, he just looks like a little, I don't know, like I said, a stocky Hot Topic kind of guy.
I've seen.
You look like you like Slipknot. Do you like Slipknot?
Oh God,
love
yeah.
Slipknot.
He just looks like he likes Slipknot.
Yeah.
Like he's all about letting the bodies hit the floor and
Yeah.
stuff too. So
I'd love to hear. I can't wait to hear the soundtrack. I'm sure it'll be shit.
Sure, it will be
Yeah.
awful. What about those crazy Harley Quinn shirts?
I don't fucking know.
I saw those at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Because I go to Hot Topic so often.
So often.
So frequently. And it was like his Harley and her Joker.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
Like, I guess they're
They're couple shirts.
For couples,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is, a whole other podcast about how stupid couple shirts are.
They're in couples Facebooks. Just stop. Don't listen
Just
to our
don't do that.
podcast. We don't need you.
We don't need you. We don't need your fake money.
Yeah, those shorts are stupid. I mean, they're stupid in any context, but especially whenever you're taking a character like Harley Quinn, who's like, it's a main part of her story and has been since the very beginning that she's severely abused by the Joker. Like, that's not even a theoretical thing. Like, it seems that way. Like, it's
No,
a
it's a
part of
fact.
her story,
It's a
right?
fact, yeah.
I mean, there's multiple times that Batman is like, you are too good for this. You need to leave him. And she's like, I know, I love my Mr. J. But yeah, so why? Like, you would not.
Why would you want to emulate?
Right.
Emulate?
Emulate.
Emulate, not immolate. Or
Right.
immolate. But why
Right.
would you want to emulate or immolate that relationship? Like,
Exactly.
that's terrible. I saw so many, and we joked about this, so many people dressed as Harley Quinn at MegaCon, but not just Harley Quinn.
That Harley
Suicide
Quinn.
Squad Harley
Yeah.
Quinn, which, first of all, they haven't seen yet, so how do you know that's even a character you want to dress
You're
up
gonna
as?
enjoy,
I
right.
mean, if you're like, I just like the aesthetics of this character, okay, fine, but I feel like, I know it's going to be really cringeworthy if you've got pictures of her and it turns out this movie's terrible and she's an awful character.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
I feel like I've seen that before, though.
Yeah.
I know that when Sin City came out, it was kind of similar.
Yeah.
There was characters in that didn't really have a point, but
Yeah.
they looked really cool, and
Some
people like
people were really
emulated them. And I'm
into
like,
it.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
the Johnny Depp tattoos you'd posted about that. How many people have Johnny Depp tattooed on their body now and aren't sure if he isn't a woman beater.
Yeah, I'm probably regretting that decision. Which I don't know. I really like. I really when I was thinking about getting my Buffy tattoo, I was like, I kind of wanted like a photorealistic picture of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But what if Sarah Michelle Gellar ups and kills a bunch of babies someday?
Yeah, right. You don't want that bitch on your arm.
I don't want her on my arm. Like
I don't think you're a bitch.
No, I think you're great, Sarah.
Yeah. But if you did that, you'd be a bitch.
Yeah, like I would be really regretting my tattoo. So I got a cartoonized version, and now I'm chill with it. So, but yeah, speaking of Johnny Depp, Through the Looking Glass.
Totally bombed.
Bombed it.
Yeah.
Boo.
I mean, I didn't like the first one.
I didn't see the first one. It looked like CGI vomited all over the movie.
Yes,
and I had no interest in that.
Yeah. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't my favorite. I think Tim Burton's kind of like lost his niche. And
such a hack.
It's time to just like collect your billions of dollars and retire.
Send them to the old folks
right.
home.
I'm speaking of someone who's my teenage years. I was one of those stupid Hot Topic kids where my teenage years were, really like they were shaped by him. But his movies are getting stupid. Should have left it at Sweeney Todd.
I don't know the last like really good one he did, and I enjoyed Sweeney Todd, but I haven't watched it since it came out, so I wouldn't even say that one was a good one. I can't think of the last good one he did.
Yeah.
So he's a hack, and Johnny Depp is a hack. I'm gonna go on record and say that maybe there is a chance that she's making this up. I don't have any evidence for that, so I'm gonna go ahead and believe her and think that Johnny Depp sucks. Cause
I think it's always safer to believe the victim first, and people will always argue with that, but it's not. It's really their issue. It happens all the time. It's really sad. I think that they're both a little fucked up because when this happened, and I don't care about Johnny Depp. I have to straight up say that right now. I'm not one of those girls who's heartbroken. He is Johnny Depp baby hands, in my opinion. He has tiny little hands, tiny little feet, tiny little stature. Yeah. Never been interested in him. He's a good actor. But it's always been known that he has really severe mental health issues, and he struggled with alcoholism since he was in his early 20s.
Yeah, and he has a lot of violent outbursts in his past.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it's not out of character for him to do this. Despite what some of the people close to him might say. I used to say the same thing about people in my life whenever I'd find out they were violent. I was like, oh, but they were always nice around me. Like, I get that instinct, but from an objective perspective, you have to just be like, okay, like, home dude has some serious violence issues.
And that's something he needs to work through. I'm not saying, like, rip all of his DVDs to shred and boycott him, but he needs to address them. And she might be a total asshat. She might be a horrible person. I don't know anything about her, but at the same time...
she has a domestic violence charge in her history, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that in any way says that she should get hit, but I'm saying, some people, fights turn into physical fights, and it's terrible, and no one should hit each other. Don't hit each other, folks.
Just don't, Don't do that.
I wonder how much of it has to do with that being the reason the movie bombed, or just the movie looked terrible and nobody likes Tim Burton anymore.
I think a lot of people were really excited for it. So, I mean, the fact that it bombed, it's got to be either that or the movie sucked. I know people were looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Another one that just came out, too, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think just came out this week. And it did surprisingly well since the first one was not received well.
What? Totally tubular.
Totally.
I'm trying to think of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles slang. Bodegas. No, that's not it. It's bodega. What
Cowabunga.
Is it? Cowabunga.
Cowabunga. Yeah, it was Cowabunga. Cowabunga.
I didn't see the first one.
It's really good. I think you'd like it.
I'm probably not going to see the second one because nothing's ever going to beat Vanilla Ice in the original, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. I don't know. I love the originals. I grew up with them. April as a character was one of my favorites because I liked a lot of boy stuff as when I was a kid, and she was one of the only female characters in that boy stuff, so I really liked her. Yeah. Megan Fox, I'm not really sure about her. She wasn't like this shining star of the first one for me. She's never really been the shining star of anything for me.
She's interesting, just that niche of movies that she gets.
Yeah.
Unlike, with the Transformers and the Ninja Turtles and all that. It's so weird because when I saw her in Jennifer's Body, I was like, oh, you should do horror movies from now on. She was so good in that. Yeah,
you got lime green jelly in your belly.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I want to watch that right now.
It was really good.
Loved
it.
What other female characters, because you said that April was important to you, what other female characters do you really like, female nerd characters?
I would have to say, and I usually gear towards the males, which is pretty terrible. Not that I'm like hating on women, but I think that...
I'm taking your feminist card away.
I know, right? It's just in nerd stuff. I think that we haven't gotten to that point where they've made a lot of really cool female characters. I want to see that happen.
Yeah.
But as problematic as Quentin Tarantino can be sometimes, I mean, every woman character he's ever made, whether it was a good guy or a bad guy, has been phenomenal and very real.
Yeah.
So I would say any Quentin Tarantino female, I could just straight up every single one of them. There's not a single one I didn't like.
Like, it's probably unpopular, but my favorite Tarantino film is Death Proof, and it's literally just
fucking love
bunch
Death
of
Proof.
girls talking, and I love it. I want to hear everything they have to say. I love it.
It's really good. His
I love
dialogue
it.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, everything that he's done. I really like, as far as comics, I really like She-Hulk. For complete, just like aesthetic reasons.
Yeah, she just
like,
looks awesome.
Yes. One of the most boyish things about me is that I wish I was just fucking massive.
I just want to see you ripped.
I just want to be ripped. Like, I want to be like Killer Croc ripped and, cut off jeans.
Yes.
But yeah, so really for aesthetic reasons. She was also a scientist, which is kind of cool, but she's just like, she's huge. So I've always really liked her. What about you, though? Female characters.
I am crazy, crazy, crazy wild about Furiosa from Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing character, and she's just a total badass. She looks incredible. She's a character with a physical disability, which I love that representation. And she spends her whole time in the show just taking care of other girls, and that female camaraderie is awesome. I love that movie. I'm also a huge fan of Buffy, obviously.
Right.
So I'm not even going to mention her. But another great female character in a nerd world is President Laura Roslin of the Seven Colonies, Battlestar Galactica. But yeah, I love her. She steps up to the plate and is a phenomenal leader when humanity needs her most, and she's under a ton of pressure. And I just love Laura Roslin. I think she's great.
I never watched it, so I mean, I like Buffy though. I really liked her when I was little. I liked Willow. Was that her name?
Willow's pretty great.
She was bi, right? One of the
She
first
was
like
bi.
daytime TV
She was totally
bisexual
bi.
characters.
She was a bisexual.
She was the band geek, right?
From American Pie.
Yeah.
Basically, just a carryover character.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, what? She's a witch.
Yeah.
And I know a little bit.
Yeah, she was a witch, and she went bad for a little while,
Yeah.
which was cool. So that was a fun time. That one of like the best scenes ever, when she like flays a guy, just like takes off all his skin, and she's like, bored now. I love
I can't
it.
see that sweet little face doing that though.
It's rough, and like it's like, if I'm so glad I don't have witch powers, because I would flay people all day long.
I used to think about it in high school, and well, more like middle school. I used to think about it all the time. I was like Carrie. I wanted to be Carrie so bad. Ugh, I wanted to just kill people.
Yeah, we're still there.
I wanted to make boys do really embarrassing stuff to other boys.
See, I was a little bit more like, I'd just be like sitting in a room and be like, what if that guy's head exploded? What if that guy's head exploded? Yeah. So, I watched too many like gross movies, obviously, growing up. So.
Right.
All right, so that's pretty much covering it for our show this week.
Yeah, 30 minutes went by quick.
They went kind of fast. So, if this is your first time listening to us, you really do yourself a favor, folks. Don't hold out on us. Don't hold out on yourself. Go listen to episodes 1, 2, and 3. They're classic episodes. They're going down in history.
They are.
Most listened to podcasts of all time. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think we are number 1 on all the charts.
I think so.
Yeah, all the charts that we made ourselves in Excel. We made the charts ourselves.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and sign off. Again, my name is Jesi.
And I'm Shelby.
And we are SPEW. Good night, folks.